Well, there's another album that we can add to the list of albums coming out, and it's Silence in the Snow by Trivium. And we got our first taste of this album today with the title track, which they released to the public, and we now have the opportunity to listen to it. There's a link for that down in the description box. There is a link around my head for the new Joe Satriani album. The new Joe Satriani album, which we just talked about earlier today, Shockwave Supernova. If you're a guitar player or just love guitars in general, this is an album review you definitely need to check out, and an album you definitely need to listen to. So hop on over there after you're done here and give that review a listen and a watch, and then find the material and just enjoy the fuck out of it. So, talking about Trivium, this is a group that the past couple of albums have not been well favored or well liked by myself, but that's really irrelevant at this point. Silence in the Snow is a song that sort of showcases this band's direction morphing even further, and this is a track where you don't see that lengthy song. Instead, it's one that's around the 4-minute range that actually seems to be taking a lot more inspiration from some traditional heavy metal approaches, especially a European approach, one that's from a lot of bands that are gap bridgers between hard rock and heavy metal, and giving it a little bit of a makeover, giving it a little bit of a modern appeal or a modern charm. And I specifically think about bands such as Halloween, which kind of bridge the gap and bridge and toe that line between power metal and heavy metal, and then also just, you know, hard rock with a little Scorpion's edge, and then adding in the modern appeal of vocally at least. Matt's vocals seem to be mirrored and coupling groups such as Volbeat or Shinedown, or perhaps even the more melodic side of Five Finger Death Punch or Disturbed, which I know is going to worry a lot of people, but that's not really the core inspiration here. Think more of the European side of things, where if you listen to a European heavy metal album or a European power metal album, it doesn't have to have that direct balls-in-your-face approach like America seems to have. It's instead one that really has a little bit more of an 80s charm to it. This is kind of what we have here, only with the modern technology and the modern low end being the highlight, whereas with a band such as Halloween, the guitar work, the rhythm, and the lead guitar are really more of the focus. The structure of this song is one that's going to cause some people to probably think that they've gone a bit simplistic, as opposed to really kind of going a little further with structure and kind of developing a little bit more of a creative and dynamic edge. And I would have to disagree with some of that assessments, considering this is the same style of structure that has worked for groups such as Judas Priest, and more specifically worked very well for Arch Enemy in the first portion of the 2000s, albeit with a lot more aggression. And by that I mean you have the introduction that launches right into your first verse and into your chorus, and then you have a bit of a solo that kind of bridges the gap between the chorus into your second verse. It's something that, like I said, Arch Enemy, especially the Amat brothers, love to do this. They love to do this. It was a good way to really amp up the excitement. And while this is one that doesn't necessarily have that same real aggressiveness and that same real feel to it, overall it really is able to morph that theme into a Trivium style and make it work pretty well. The song itself isn't too bad. My wonder actually is not so much about just this track, it's about the whole entire album, because this is a track where I feel like Trivium now stands right before a different hub of places where they can go with their sound on Silence in the Snow. Almost like playing Hexen and having 5 or 6 different portals that take you to different areas. I feel that this is a track whose structure can really guide this band to 5 or 6 different directions on this album, and if they incorporate at least 3 or 4 of those, I have a feeling that this album is going to be sort of a comeback album for this group, where the past couple have not exactly been well received universally, whereas the first couple have had a lot more of a universal appeal. I think that this could be a great opportunity for the group to kind of get back in the good graces of a lot of people, even though that's not the, that's not the desire at all. That's not the driving force here. It's just to write good music. I feel that they have the opportunity to explore heavy metal a lot more. They could even go a little bit into that power metal realm if they really felt like it, though I don't think it would work too great for them But I could also see a little bit of progression. Think Shogun, only with a lot more dynamics involved with it. And then I also think that their core and their trademark sound definitely has a lot to still offer this world. It's one where you just sort of have to shift it up a little bit and try a couple of new things. I feel like this is an album where they're going to attempt a couple new things, and the key thing is I'm not sure if Draymond is going to be a part of this on the production bench, but my hope is that he's not. I want to know what you guys think about this track. I want to know what you guys think about Silence in the Snow. Let me know in the comments below and in the description box if you haven't heard the song yet. You'll have the opportunity to, because there will be a link down there that will guide you there. And of course, check out the album review for the new Satriani album, man. It is fucking great. It is awesome. I think you're really going to dig it, especially if you like guitars and since you like Trivium. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you guys next time. I am Cover Killer Nation. I think Cataclysm's next, just to throw that out there. I think so, unless something else happens, something like really fucked. I'll talk to you later. Peace.